by the end of this, we can see that at the end of the analysis, the author concluded that all the reasons stated combined to make Africa unattractive to global investors. In other words, from this example, we can be able to see that we can have a lot of resources at disposal, but as far as leadership is not there, there is lack of leadership. We can fail to achieve what we ought to achieve. It's more or less like wastage of resources. And for that, we can understand as supply chain professionals, we understand that we can conclusively say we cannot have enough resources for supply chain, but those small resources that we can have, it's our mandate, and it requires leadership. And in that case, leadership is essential to use those resources which are not enough, to use them to bring improvement in the supply chain system. So as a takeaway lesson, without good leadership, even the best designed systems will fail. And leadership is very much needed both at the organizational and individual levels for success. Let's move on. Now let's move on to models of leadership. So far, we are about to discuss 8 of them. We start with the autocratic leadership. So, as an autocratic leader is characterized by dictating orders to their staff, and he or she makes decisions without any consultation. Generally, he takes control, generally controls the situation, makes quick decisions, and primarily engages in one way, down and downward communication. It's very rare for such kind of autocratic leader to provide positive feedback to the team members. And as a result, it leads to decreased motivation and also an increase in staff turnover. Secondly, we have bureaucratic leadership. In this type of leadership, it relies on a clear chain of command and strict regulations and confirmation by its followers. Somehow it can be confused with the autocratic leadership. Which autocratic leadership mainly, as already said, focuses on the leader who makes all the key decisions. But for bureaucratic leadership, on the other hand, relies more on the entire line of authority as opposed to the single leader in autocratic leadership. Thirdly, let's look at democratic or participative leadership. He delegates authority to the staff and giving them responsibility to complete the task. Staff who complete the tasks using their own work methods on time, and employees are involved in decision making, giving them a sense of motivation. This one, it is advantageous in the sense that it increases job satisfaction by involving employees or team members, but the only challenge is slow decision-making process. It's not easy to make quick decision because you have to consult team members. We also have laissez-faire leadership, which sets tasks and through which a leader sets tasks and gives staff complete freedom to complete tasks as they see it fit. So it allows followers freedom to set their own goals. And there is minimal involvement from the manager. The only benefit is that staff gain a develop to take responsibility. And somehow the staff feel lost and not able to reach the goals set within the time frame. The same as the bureaucratic leadership. The same as the autocratic leadership. Laissez-faire provides infrequent feedback that is of any kind, whether positive or negative. And there is poor listening skills, and it avoids conflicts. As we continue the understanding different models of leadership, let's look at transactional leadership. This one emphasizes the importance of the relationship between a leader and a follower. We can also talk of, as I'm trying to run away from the use of the word follower, it emphasizes the importance between the leader and the team members, with a focus on mutual benefits, which is derived from a form of contract through which the leader delivers such things as rewards or recognition intended for the commitment or loyalty of the followers. Generally, we have assumptions in this transactional leadership that people are motivated by rewards and punishment. And they also assume that social systems work best with a chain of command. And when people have agreed to do a job, a part of the deal is that they cede all authority to their manager. Transformational leadership. This type occurs when one or more persons engage with others in such a way that leaders and team members raise one another to higher levels. And both the leader and the team members become motivated, and in this case, more changes demand more leaders. And its concept involves leaders envisioning and implementing the transformation of organization performance And leadership is about coping with changes. Major changes are necessary to survive in this new environment. Working for a transformation leader can be a wonderful and uplifting experience. They put passion and energy into everything. And as we have seen, they care about you and they want you to succeed. Let's look at charismatic leadership. It is assumed that charm and grace, rather than any form of external power or authority, are needed to create force. Self-belief is a fundamental need of leaders. And the people follow others that they admire. Basically, as a charismatic leader, your motive is to present yourself to the team members so that they admire you and thereafter they follow you. Servant leadership. In this leadership model, there is interaction with others, either in a management or fellow employee capacity to achieve authority rather than power. It embodies a decentralization structure and involves customer-facing employees in company decision-making. These employees have a close relationship with the consumer and can make better decisions to retain them and acquire new ones. Finally, we talk of situational leadership. This one is flexible and it adapts to the existing work environment and the needs of the organization. It's not based on a specific skill of a leader. Instead, he or she modifies the style of management to suit the requirements of the organization. So this one, as the environment changes, the leadership makes sure, the leader makes sure to adjust and adapt to such a new environment as well. And situational leadership generally seeks to develop people and work groups, and also to establish rapport and to bring out the best in their people. Uses a common leadership style across all units in an organization, be it local, national, or international. I now invite questions and contribution from anyone. Thank you.
Okay, so this is the first Q&A of this session. So if you have any question related to the topic, please feel free to unmute your mic and go ahead with the question, or you can just drop down your question in the chat box. We'll take it from there. Thank you. Patrick, I would suggest if we don't get any question from anyone, you just go ahead and you can ask any question related to topic to all of our participants.
I can go ahead.
Yeah, you can discuss the topic, you can ask question with them. This is another way of communicating.
Okay, I think maybe we can just finish the presentation. Thereafter, we can have more time to ask each other questions and as well as to share the experiences in the different organizations. Unless, okay, someone, Memory Ndaizive is asking, what is the best style of leadership amongst the ones presented? Okay, to me, I can say it's difficult to say this is the best style of leadership because for a leadership style to be best, it means it has to promote the goals of and the vision of an organization. Now, it depends on the people, or I mean the team that you are working with. For some people, if you use the autocratic leadership style, you may find that the organization is becoming better at that particular point in time, while others, it's worth to use democratic leadership style. But above all things, above all styles, myself, I like a democratic leadership style, whereby I have to involve my team members in decision making, so that it gives a sense of ownership for the decisions that we make as an organization. I don't know if anyone has anything to say on that. Am I clear?
Any further questions? Please go ahead. Okay.
Yes, I just want to make a contribution. Well, as for the type of leadership that is the best, I think depending on your organization, you can pick the good points in every some of those leadership styles. For example, I believe in carrying the workers along with the democratic setup, but as a regulator, you have to also use some form of autocracy, especially when they have to comply with standards. For example, if you have a SOP, standard operating procedures, for a manufacturing process, you have to ensure that all those manufacturing, they are compelled to do what is required. So I'm thinking that you can get a mix depending on your organization. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Actually, that's it. Because if at that particular moment with your assessment of the advantages and disadvantages, you feel it's important to use autocratic style and you cling to democratic style, it means you'll not be able to achieve the goals and vision of the organization. Thank you so much. Anyone with a question or contribution, you can just unmute your mic and speak.
We have one more question. Patrick, you can just read it out.
Okay. As PSM workers, what is the best approach in advising the Ministry of Health or government in choosing the best leadership style? Okay, when you talk of the best approach, it depends with the people. It depends on the people you are dealing with, because leadership is the approach can also be affected the personalities of the people that you're dealing with. So, of course, many government systems, for example, like in my country, we like to use democratic leadership style, but at the same time, we should not cling to something which cannot bring best results. So you should be able, as a person maker, you should be able to assess the people that you are dealing with and look at the different types of leadership styles. From there, be able to make a decision and find the best approach. Zakele Dramini, have I answered your question? Zakele? Thank you so much. Anyone with any contribution or a question, just unmute your mic and speak.
Patrick, if there are no further questions, you can proceed further with the PPT.
All right, thank you so much. So now let's continue with the presentation. And let's look at team leadership. As I said in the previous slides, that I would like us to have to use the word team members instead of followers, because in this one, as we go through this presentation, now we understand it's our duty as leaders to build a team which will be able to deliver and make the organization move forward.
Before you start, Patrick, sorry for interrupting you. We have one more question.
All right. Okay, so the question says, in your own opinion, what styles of leadership have contributed to poor performance of our health systems in Africa? Okay, to say which styles of leadership have contributed to poor performance of our health systems, I cannot solely blame the leadership styles, but it has to be qualities of that leader, qualities of the people in the health system. Because, for example, in Malawi, we can use democratic leadership style. In America, they can use democratic leadership style. But you find that because there are two environments, the achievements which can be brought forth by these two teams, it's different. You might find that the other team is failing, the other team is making progress. So I feel like I should not be quick to say maybe it's because of democracy or it's because of autocratic, because of what. I think in that case will not be right. But when you talk of the qualities of leaders we discussed in the beginning, and even looking at the example or that case study or that article by Sam Adebo, we'll find that there's a lack of leadership culture. The same reasons which have been raised in that article are the same. I believe that the same reasons which are contributing to the poor performance of our health systems in Africa. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Now, I think I can move on. All right, thank you. Now, let's talk of the general overview stages of leadership, of development, leadership development. Basically, we have got four stages. The first one is a startup, whereby it's about informing, and the team leader can be defined as a telling leader who just tells the team members what to do. And the team members' role in this case is just to do as they are told. The second stage is pivotal, which can be described as storming. And the team leader's role is like coaching. The leader tells the team members, here's why you are doing it. And the team members work together as a group. The third stage is whereby now you put it into practice. It can be described as joining or norming stage. And the leader's role can be defined as the consultative leader. And the team members' role focus on the results and day-to-day operation. Finally, the fourth stage is where we look at excelling. As you remember, I differentiated leadership and management, whereby I said major concern for managers to get results, but for leadership, the major concern is to excel. So this is the fourth stage. And team leaders' role is to delegate, whereby the members' role is to run day-to-day with focus on long-term improvement and responsibility. So stage one, startup, the directive leader. It is not effective in building strong. It is not effective in building a strong and high-performance team. A team will produce according to the standards, but will not perform beyond breeds. It will not perform beyond. Breeds compliance, not performance. As seen in the previous slide, they're just doing as told. So normally it's just complying to what they've been told. The team members are just complying to what they've been told by their leader. and communication is mostly downward with almost no upward communication. This is frustrating for leaders too, since the leader of the team makes all the important decisions, and consequently, he or she mostly finds him or herself fighting fires and managing crises. Because it's somehow, I can just say, it's more or less like the team members, they don't have an idea of what they're doing. They're waiting to be told by the leader to do whatever they're supposed to do. The second stage, the pivotal stage. In this stage, the leader gives more freedom and responsibility to the team members, encouraging two-way communication by seeing their suggestions and inputs, thereby involving them in setting the goals of the organization. So team members begin to feel more responsibility and enjoyment for the work they're doing and motivated to do more than they have to do, because they've been involved in setting goals of organization or the team. They take the goal as their responsibility now, because they've been part and parcel of goal setting. Or the third stage, the joining stage. The leader of the team takes more of a rear seat and plays the role of a coordinator. So team members are focused on their goals and are busy handling the daily tasks. At this stage, people are more committed to what they are doing. They don't wait for a leader to tell them what to do. They're already committed, and as they're focused to what they're doing. And at this stage, the team members, they do things because they want to, not because they have to. They have intrinsic motivation to do and achieve. They're giving both their time and their energy. Finally, the fourth stage, self-reliant stage. At this stage, the leader of the team works primarily outside the team. The team members are capable of handling the day-to-day and mid-range tasks, as well as any complex problems or situations on their own. The team hits their goals and targets constantly and is always on the watch out for continuous improvement opportunities. But to reach this stage, in short, we can say you have lived, loved, and led remarkably. It's not easy, but it's very possible to get a team to this stage. This is the end of part 1. So now I also invite questions and contribution before we proceed with the presentation. You can just unmute your mic if you've got any question or contribution. So maybe I have to ask a question to the team. Maybe you have experienced it when you are leading a team or you are in an organization, and you have members which are resistance. You are facing resistance from members. What leadership styles have you used, or what do you do in such kind of a situation? You can just unmute your mic and speak.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, as a team leader, most times when there's resistance, communication is very vital. You need to find out why your staff is resisting. Because in most cases, from my experience, when there's resistance, there's a communication gap. Maybe you have not communicated properly their schedule or particular assignment to them. And you must ensure also that they have an enabling environment to carry out their duties.
Yes, I agree with you. Communication is very vital. Anyone with a question or contribution?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
So the question that you asked that I was talking about resistance. In some scenarios, yes, communication can be an issue, but sometimes it could be the work environment, or especially here in Africa, I've noted that sometimes there are issues to do with remuneration, or maybe just the work environment that you find that probably team members are disgruntled. So sometimes it becomes very difficult to be a team leader in such a scenario where there could be issues that are probably beyond your control. I'm actually trying to probably get some contributions as to how people manage that. Because sometimes if team members are frustrated because of the working conditions, no matter how hard you could try, as long as there are still issues to do with remuneration and their work conditions and their benefits, you'll find out that you keep finding resistance and people will not exert themselves to their work and do their best. So I'm actually asking as a question so that I can get contributions as to how people have dealt with such scenarios. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You can unmute your mic and speak.
Hello?
Yes, yes.
Yes, I was making some contributions before I discovered I had some connection problem. I hope you got my contributions.
No. You can come again.
Oh, okay, I was saying that when there's resistance, there's need for the leader to engage such a staff to find out why the staff is resisting. Because in most cases, when there's resistance, It's either there's communication gap between the leader and the staff, or probably the staff does not have an enabling environment, the right environment to carry out his or her duties. So there should always be communication. The leader should always listen to his staff. There should be all constant communication between the leader and the staff to ensure that he understands their challenges, he understands how they feel concerning the various tasks. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And just to add on what you have said, I say sometimes it's also something something important to let the team members understand the vision of you as a leader. I can give example, for example, in Malawi. Let's give example of Malawi, and you are working with Ministry of Health and at headquarters. So you are bringing in an initiative to increase or to improve on the data reporting quality, and then you are working with the farmers assistants in their rural areas, in different places. And these people, they're not even much concerned with how they're reporting different supply chain data. It may be possible that they don't understand why is it so much important to report as accurately as possible, to report as timely as possible. So as you engage these people, it's really, I believe it may be such an opportune time for you to gather that you understand them. At the same time, they have to understand you as a leader. Thank you.
Patrick.
Yes.
Yes, to add on to what you have been saying, it's true in Africa we have challenges with remunerations and encouraging as a leader, motivating staff, especially as you have explained in terms of logistics. I worked in a district where we had like 23 facilities who had to report on a monthly basis. So it was a very big challenge. And these were not pharmacy personnel. You're dealing with nurses and environmental health technologists. So just to encourage them to report on a monthly basis on a logistics system in pharmacy, which was not like something they've been trained to do. It was a very big challenge. So having them trained, I think, was one of the motivating, where they are taken to a place and they're trained. And that one was one of the way of motivating them. Then for me to encourage them to ensure that reports were submitted on a monthly basis, I had to like start maybe 5 days before, reminding them that, oh yes, we need the reports, and please ensure that your storerooms are ready. And when it comes to the month end, you'd encourage them, please do the stock take. And then after that, it would be like, let's fill in the report. So I used to use the WhatsApp platform. So each facility was on the WhatsApp. Whoever was the pharmacy in charge was on that WhatsApp group. So we had that, and it was just a way of encouraging them. There was just no, there was no enumeration, no money. It was just encouraging. So whichever facility reported first, it was like, oh, congratulations, thank you very much for reporting. So, on that platform. So it was like people were encouraged to be like the first facility to report. And from there, it helped in our reporting as a district. We found that we were having good reporting rates from that. So it was, for me, in our environment, I think encouraging people, and just by word, and giving them, just that up on the back, that well done. And then for those who are not doing well, we're like always like, be motivated by the other facilities who have done well. So if they manage to even report one, you'd be, oh, congratulations, you've done well this month. Can next month can it be two? You know, it was just encouragement. In Africa, yes, it's very difficult, but that was how one of the ways I looked at it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's a wonderful experience indeed. And I think sometimes it's also important to understand that there are other people whose main goal and aim is to follow the success of an organization. And these are very tough people in terms of dealing with, because you can try to motivate them, you can try to do everything possible so that you work together as a team, but still more, they will do their best to undermine the vision of you as a leader. So maybe you can also share the experience if you have ever met such kind of situation.
Patrick, can I come in?
Yes.
Also, you are very right about having bad apples in your team that probably always make the team leader's life difficult. So what I've noted is you probably just have to bring that person closer and give them more responsibility, so that at the end of the day, they realize that they actually feel important. Most times when you have such people in the group, they actually have their own issues that you may probably just have to deal with them. So I've noticed that if you have such people and give them responsibility, and then they are overseeing other people and they are reporting maybe to you, and you find out that if you manage to correct them, they're actually keen on embracing, so they will even work harder than what you were saying before. So yeah, as we were saying, in terms of remuneration, I think I remember at one point we used to make a mistake. I now call it a mistake, because we used to take our money as team leaders. Probably would get fruit vouchers. We actually had to do some other things using our own monies to motivate our team members. But when you get to a point where you no longer have that money and you no longer have that capacity to do that, then people will relapse again. So I've noted that it might be a mistake to incentivize people from your pockets, because when you get to a point where you no longer have such funds, they will relapse again. So it's, as a leader, you actually have to sit down with each and every team member and find out how you can probably bring them closer and study maybe their behaviors to actually see what you can do so that they can also help you to help you achieve the goal. Because as you said, you always have people who always want to stall progress, or maybe they are just frustrated with the working conditions. So if people can actually connive, they can actually sit down and influence others so that your work can be stalled. But as a team leader in Africa, you really have to probably sit down, and as we are learning, you probably will be able to correct past mistakes and see where we made mistakes and improve in the leadership. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Stephen, I saw you raise the hand.
Yes, I just want to state here that the organization is greater than any individual. So the organizational goal is more important than any individual interest. In a situation as a leader where you have tried all in your power to motivate a staff, and you discover that that staff is undermining that organization, I think the ideal thing to do is to recommend either the transfer or disengagement of such an officer. That is my own take concerning this.
I see 2 hands raised. Just unmute and speak. Yeah, so I just want to concur with you, Steve, and the previous person. Above all things, I think I can just say all times there's a room for improvement. There is a room to engage each other and to make things work for a better organization. Zikar Dramin, I've seen you have raised a hand.
Yes, Patrick. No, thank you. This is interesting. For me, I just want to add on what you have said. Communication is the best and it's very important, and also giving back a report on the activities that have been completed and the ongoing activities, so that people that you are working with, your colleagues, can see their effort and maybe they will be encouraged to do more.
Dramin, I can't hear you.
Hello?
Yes, come again because we lost you.
Okay, I was saying, I was adding from what you were saying on communicating with your colleagues. Also other methods that we have been using with my team is to communicate back on giving back reports on what we have achieved, and also on reports on the ongoing activities for the other working colleagues to see what they have done and what is left to be done. And in that way, they are encouraged in seeing all the activities to... Hello?
Yes, I'm here. We are getting you.
Hello?
Yes, we're getting you. Continue.
Oh, you're getting me. Yes, yes. It's about giving back reports to working colleagues in summary.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Anyone with any question or contribution before we proceed? Priya, can I proceed to the next part 2?
Yeah, yes, you can proceed with next slide.
All right, thank you. So now we are going to move to part 2 of the presentation, which is about sharing the practical experience in our different organizations. So it's I would like each one of us to narrate of the different leadership styles used in the organizations and even used by yourself, and even share the impact of the leadership styles in your organization. Yeah, so I have to start. In my organization, we normally use we dominantly use democratic leadership style. Of course, we may also talk of the situational leadership style. There have been a lot of changes happening in my organization for the past year, which prompted us to adopt different models of leadership at different particular moments. And because the director normally likes laissez-faire leadership style, and the operation manager likes democratic leadership style. And myself as a pharmacist manager, I also like democratic leadership style. So we had some challenges at some point in time, because the director was supposed to be giving us the direction in how the organization should move. But he wasn't able to involve us, or he wasn't willing to involve us, and even for him to be involved in the decision making. Normally he would just say, proceed with whatever you have agreed to do, or okay, it's fine, do that, it's fine, do that. And that led to some challenges in the organization, and that contribute to the stockhouse at some point in time. So as a democratic leaders, we try to be involving him, to be inviting him to meetings, and we discuss, we let him suggest some other things which we have to do in order to progress as an organization. So by and by, we managed to change his leadership style from laissez-faire. Now he's adapting to the democratic leadership style. And at the end, the organization is now making remarkable improvements, and it is really growing, because we just started in 2021. So we were about to give up. The director was about to give up on the business, but we were optimistic enough. We discussed with him, and as we were sharing the ideas, we were able to come up with strategies, and the organization is now doing very well. Yeah, thank you. So I also invite other participants to share the leadership styles in the organization and how it has impacted on team members and the entire organization. Thank you. You can just unmute your mic and speak.
Patrick, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yes, I work for Pharmacy Council of Nigeria. As a regulatory agency, I'm in charge of enforcement in Nigeria, enforcement of the provisions of our act. So we ensure that all the pharmaceutical stakeholders, that's the manufacturers, the wholesalers and distributors, operate in line with regulations. In my office, in order to ensure that my staff are carried along, we operate a democratic system. Everybody knows their responsibility, because we work as teams. Somebody might be in charge of a team somewhere else within the same state. So if we are going out for enforcement activities, we have about 4 to 8 teams working simultaneously in different directions, different locations. So each team member has to be properly tutored. And there has to be a lot of delegation of duties because you are not with them at all times. That means you must build capacity in them. So there's a lot of democratic process in our office. Then we do a lot of stakeholders meeting. The people who are regulating, the stakeholders, the manufacturers, the wholesalers. We do a lot of stakeholders meeting, training, capacity building to let them see the need to comply with regulations. Also, we also let them see the dangers to public health of any infraction on the regulations. But after that, after doing all that, I will get to the field and we see somebody doing something different, we switch over from democracy to autocratic. That premise has to be closed down immediately if we see that activity is a threat to public health. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Wonderful experience. So switching from one leadership style to other, it's always good, especially when you weigh in the advantages and disadvantages. Yes, you can, anyone, if you are ready, you can just unmute your mic and share your experiences with your organization.
Patrick, we cannot hear you. You're not audible to us. Patrick, are you there? Please unmute your mic.
Yeah, sorry, I had some challenges with my internet, but now I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah, anyone who is ready to share the leadership styles, please unmute your mic and speak. Cynthia Tapera, are you available? So, Stephen,
I'm
I would
with
like
you.
to know how do the team members respond to the leadership style change?
To leadership style.
Yes, how do the team members, because we are talking of the switching leadership style from democratic to autocratic, how do they respond when you have changed from democratic to autocratic?
No, they change. What I said was that for my team members, we operate democratic, yes. But we also have a relationship with the stakeholders, like the manufacturers, the distributors of pharmaceuticals and other commodities that are used in public health. When we switch over from democracy to autocracy, is we are carrying it out on the stakeholders, not on my own staff. And my own staff, they are all trained to do that. They have a standard operating procedure. When you get to a facility and you find that the activity there is going to constitute a threat to public health, shut down the place. So they are all trained to do that. But before then, we do sensitization of all the stakeholders. We do capacity building. We do training seminars for them. We build capacity. We train them on how to carry out these activities. But if after all this, because you agree with me that there are some people that have different motive for carrying out activities. Some are just motivated by profit. Some are you understand what I mean?
Yes.
So once you get to those facilities, you get to those facilities, and you discover that such a facility is carrying out an activity that it's going to constitute a threat to public health. Every team member has been trained on what to do. You shut down the place and bring your report. Then when we evaluate the report, we know what next to do. Did you get me?
Thank you so much. Yes. It's not only limited to the sharing of the leadership styles in your organization. Even if you can have any question from the discussions that you have had, feel free to ask the question. Or if you just have any contribution, please take the floor and contribute.
Hello, Patrick.
Yes, here I am.
Yes, I want to also state here that as a leader, for you to get the best out of your staff, you must be interested in their own personal issues.
Yes.
Excuse me. Yeah, because you agree with me that some personal issues can also affect their output. Sorry, I have a cold.
Yeah, no problem.
You agree with me? So you must be interested in their personal issue. Thank you.
Yeah, I did agree with you to say, as a leader, you must be interested in their personal issues, because if you're so much ego just to make sure that they do what you want, but you are not able to have an open door for them to come and even share their worries with you, it's difficult, because that creates a distance, and it's a hindrance that it's very difficult for you to work together as a team. So I did agree with you that as a leader, you should also be interested in their personal issues. It's very important for a leader to understand your team. If you want to share your experiences, please just unmute and speak.
Patrick, if there are no further questions, you can proceed further with the slide.
Actually, this is the end of it.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So thank you so much for such a wonderful PPT and such a wonderful discussion. If you this is for all. If you have any further question, please go ahead, or we can just end the session in next 1-2 minutes. In case you find any other question later after this session, so feel free to email me. I will forward it to Patrick and he will get back to you. Also, the recording and the PPT of this session will be shared with you on your email ID in a day or two. Thank you all for joining this session. Thank you all.
Thank you.